welcome. It's good to be back. I've been away for a while. Of course, I've been improving myself, working on myself and becoming the best version of myself. And now 2025, we are back. I hope you all had a good 2024. I hope you all are striving towards your goals in 2025. And I hope you're all ready for some new content. So today, I thought I would kind of just unpack and say my 2 cents on the Billy Carson and Wes Huff debate, that went on. Since, I kind of covered some stuff on Terrence Howard before. And again, I think it might be good for me to cover some stuff on Billy Carson and Wes Huff. So, as you know, this thing has been blown. It's blown up crazy. It's gone crazy, right? And at the same time, you probably can see that Billy Carson kind of put this on himself. But obviously, I think first of all, I just want to talk a little bit about Billy Carson, because here's the thing. He's a person who, no hate to him, I respect him. I like what he's doing in terms of, questioning mainstream ways of thinking and things like that. But he's one person that I've always said kind of is very hard to find substance behind what he's saying, in terms of it's very hard to, again, get some traceability of what he's saying when he says stuff from texts and things like that. He says all these amazing things, and sometimes it's hard to see where they come from. That's always the problem that I've had when it comes to listening to his content or watching his content. It's always kind of, and then it's things along the lines of, then the aliens came, they done this, they done that, and this text says this and that. But to find the actual source and the credible sources and the kind of criteria that he goes like along with when he is working out what is true and what's not true, is very hard to distinguish that. So it's always one thing I said, like when he talks about stuff, and it's always hard to find where it comes from, right? And then this debate happens, and it kind of just proved my point, my thoughts that I had, where it was hard for him to then debate against what Wes was saying, because either his research wasn't strong enough, or, he just didn't have enough evidence to back his own claims. Now, again, before we analyze the debate, another key point that I want to mention, and something that I've always kind of thought as well. So Billy Carson, right? First of all, you have to be humble in this game, right? And if he was humble, or let's say this, if I was doing the work that Billy Carson was doing, right? And I had the money that Billy Carson had, right? And I wanted to find out the truth, right? Then would it not make sense for me to kind of use my funds to organize like my own research team? Because that's what you need when it comes to these ancient alien theories and all this stuff. You need research. We need people out there fighting to research certain things. As you know, there are restrictions on certain places and researching and looking into certain things, like the site Gobekli Tepe, or Tepe, however you want to say it. But that ancient site, there is restrictions on archaeology and excavating it, right? So would you not form some sort of group with your funds to help research and try pull in the best researchers and research these ancient alien theories, right? Try come up with some new studies and new, theories, and just have work going on in the field, right? But when you look at what Billy Carson does, he charges super high prices for you to go on a tour with him of the like pyramids and stuff. And then obviously he has his own platform, which is basically like Netflix, but for, his movies that he makes, and he does screenings. And then he puts some of his funds into his own sort of award show for people who research this stuff, right? And he's also nominated for one of these awards at his own show, obviously. But it just doesn't make sense. Because me personally, nothing has been proven when it comes to the ancient aliens and stuff like that. Nothing has really been proven yet, or there's no work done. There's people out there trying to look for these things, like Graham Hancock, if you know him, trying to look for these things, but nothing has been proven. So why are we giving out awards to people who are doing work trying to find out stuff when, nothing's been figured out? Like if you get a Nobel Prize or something for scientific research, then that's because you've done some amazing work in the field and you've got some credible like theories or hypotheses behind you, and you're starting to see you've got some evidence for them, right, to prove them, right? But it doesn't make sense. So when I looked at all these points that I'm saying, it kind of made me think a bit, okay, so what's Billy Carson's goal here? What is he trying to achieve and figure out? Because it just seems like he's just pulling in cash right now, pulling in cash. So now we go into the debate, right? Of course, Wes Huff, a very researched guy, a very, knowledgeable guy, knows his stuff. So of course, when it comes to the Bible, of course he's gonna know the Bible better than Billy Carson, right? He's done the research. And this is the first mistake I think Billy Carson made. I think he approached this debate at the wrong angle. He started trying to, bring up texts and stuff and kind of prove Wes wrong about what Christianity says. Instead of, I think he should have looked at it from a higher level, right? If you're going into the debate. Now, I'm not taking no sides in the debate here, but I'm just saying, if you wanted to make this a better debate or a more interesting debate, he should have just approached it from a different angle. He should have asked the questions that people normally ask and Christianity can't answer in that sense. The questions where the answer would be, this is just how God is, or this is how God designed the world, or things like that. He should have approached it that way and asked those sorts of questions, and then it would have been more interesting to see how Wes responds to certain things and, all things like that. But he didn't. He just started to go into try to, talk about the life of Jesus, and he kind of played on Wes's field, right? So of course he's gonna lose. He played on the field that Wes is really good and knowledgeable at. So of course he's gonna lose, right? The next point is that it's the way Billy Carson dealt with it after, the cease and desist, the calling the lawyers. He put it upon himself. Had he have not done that, right, then maybe that video would have got 100, 200k views. No one would have cared. No one really would have talked about it. It might have been brought up, but that's about it. But because he then took all the actions he took, what happened? Wes then could make a video saying, look, I debated Billy Carson and now he doesn't want it released, doesn't want the video released. Of course people are going to tune into that. Why? People love drama. And Billy Carson kind of destroyed himself. It's a shame to see. And even, again, like, that's what I'm saying. If he never done that, right, and let's say the video just got put out as normal, got 100, 200k views, Billy Carson could have easily escaped from the situation by saying, because you heard it, he made a 3-hour rant about this whole thing. He could have said, I wasn't really well, I didn't really prepare, but I'm going to go back and do some research and prepare, and then hopefully me and Wes can run it back, And I'm sure if he had done that, people would have tuned in and they would have watched the part 2 and he could have came more research and maybe come up with some better points and saved himself. But no, he didn't take that approach. He just went crazy. He just went a bit crazy, cease and desist, this and that. He just didn't play his cards right at the end of the day. Because let's be honest, right? Let's be honest. Overall, this topic as a debate, really and truly, no one really knows the truth. I have always said, and part of generational excellence is always about working together to find the truth. Let's not debate this and that, and let's not act like experts in, something that no one has enough evidence to prove yet. Let's just work together, do some research, and get to the truth ourselves. Even if we don't get to the truths in our lifetime, at least we'll be closer to the truth as humanity than if we're just debating and fighting amongst ourselves. That's always been my approach, right? So, again, no one really knows. No one can really know or prove this or prove that. Even like when you look at how the canon versions of the Bible were, put together, it still was, some, I guess you could call them knowledgeable people who came together and said, look, this is going to be canon, this isn't canon. And they had a systematic approach of how they done it. Obviously, they looked at things like connectivity between each of the books and references between each of the books. They had a methodical way. But at the end of the day, God didn't say this is canon and this is not canon, right? So we can still say that a lot more research should be done into just making sure and clarifying what is canon, what isn't canon. Whenever I say canon, I think of anime, Naruto, canon, and fillers. Anyway, that's another story for another day. But there still is a lot of debate. There still should be open debate among these things. And I think the main point that maybe Billy Carson should have stressed is that more research needs to be done. We need to work together as a collective, join forces, all work together, no matter what religion you are, what culture you have, work together to find the truth and propel society forward, because that's what it's about, right? That is what it's about. But anyway, I've talked enough. I've got so more videos planned, lots more to break down, lots more to talk about, and lots more to just give my 2 cents on. But remember, this channel is about generational excellence. That is creating a society that has more wisdom, knowledge, and opportunities than you had growing up. And with that, we can create a society that outlives the sun dying out, outlives the asteroids, and just a great society that is prospering and working together to be better. And with that being said, can't wait to be making more videos on this channel, and I'll see you guys in the next one.